So previously we set up a local Venv environment, installed some dependencies to it, and then showed that we could actually use this for running Flask on our local machine. This isn't very good if we want anyone in the world to interact with our application though. So our next step is to figure out how do we go from our local development into a deployed application. So we'll show this as a two-step process. We are first going to go from our local machine into GitHub, and then we're going to go from IU GitHub onto the Luddy unified Linux environment, which is going to be where we're deploying and running our application on the CGI server. So just like last time, I'm on my WSL environment running Ubuntu. I'm going to cd into my classes, i211, Hazel, i211 lecture. And previously we were able to get this thing running on our local machine. So next we need to figure out how to deploy. I'm going to start from our GitHub organization, go down to my i211 lecture. And in here, we should have a section all about actually deploying. We're going to work through the first time deploy instructions, which involves SSHing into silo. So let's get these side by side so that we can look at both of them. So first steps first, SSH onto silo. After SSHing into the server, we need to clone the project and lecture repositories, pretty much replacing the username with my IU username, copying this, right-clicking into here. So I'm going to hold Control and use my left arrow keys to jump back to the word username, and I'm going to replace it with Hazel. While we're at it, let's also do the other one. And now we've deployed. Links should follow either of these patterns here. Since I'm in the i211 lecture repository, I can also click this link, and it shows me that we have our Flask application running on the CGI server for anyone to interact with. While we're here, let's also check that the project one worked. At the moment, they're identical, but we will take these projects in vastly different directions over the next few weeks. Now let's imagine it's been a few weeks, and we want to figure out how to get our changes from GitHub onto the web server. How do we do that? So previously we saw the first time deploy, but now we have to talk about all the subsequent deploys that we do to the server. And again, we're imagining that we've just restarted an Ubuntu session, kind of like this. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Same steps as before. We're going to start by SSHing onto the server. If we want to update our lecture repository, we will cd into the cgi-pub/i211 lecture. Most of the time, there should not be any additional changes done right here, but if we wanted to check, we could say git status just to confirm that your branch is up to date with origin main, nothing to commit, working tree clean. If you don't see this, it's easy enough to do just git restore period. If we have any local changes, this will drop them in order to prefer what was previously on the deployed branch. Finally, we want to pull in our changes from IU GitHub onto the server, which we just do with the git pull command. In this case, there were no additional changes that needed to be made. Otherwise, we'd see something like the files that were actually changed. Let's do one last step, which is just to confirm that everything worked okay. Let's open this link. Sure enough, everything's still here. And hopefully your deploys are as simple as that. Since we're using Git throughout the lifecycle of our application, it should be pretty easy to just pull in any recent changes from our local machine onto GitHub and then finally onto the remote server. Our next step is to write the application, so it's something a little bit more interesting than this hello world response. But as previous, we're going to have to leave that as a topic for the future. Take care, y'all.